13th Annual Rotary Central Health Check Lifesaver, a mini medical just for you, free to you. Your blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, hemoglobin, weight management, and more. Free medical guidance, doctors, nurses, medical technicians, free glucometers, blood pressure monitors, subject to conditions. Save the date March 1. See you at Cost You Less West Bay Road, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Foster's Airport, Foster's West Bay, Savannah United Church. The Rotary Central Health Check 25 Lifesaver, March 1st. Supported by the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens and the Health Services Authority of the Cayman Islands, knowing changes everything.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Another wonderful Wednesdays. Welcome to each and everyone as we invite you to be a part of a discussion. Parliament is in session to tell us the way politicians and parliamentarians are making policies that impact the people. So let's have a say. Be a part of the agenda. It's going to be open line here on Talk Today. So stay tuned.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back. And if you, like many of us, sort of waiting with bated breath to see the parliamentarians will reconvene, hey, that's because it's not the love, or even the like for politics. It's the idea that the decisions impact and affect our lives in a material way. The notion that increasingly as we talk about civics and civic education, not just in our formal educational institutions, from the primary to the tertiary and postgraduate and beyond, but it's about recognizing that in the Cayman Islands in particular, we have very astute people who are informed and they understand, whether we accept or use words like geopolitical landscape or whatever they understand, they're informed what happens here and everywhere else. It's a particular interest. I had an amazing conversation with a most fantastic individual. Her expertise and experience, despite the many decades under her belt, the youthfulness, the enthusiasm, the energy, it's not because of an education acquired through formal instruction in some tertiary institution far afield. It's because of life. It's about the idea that growing up, as she shared, her parents and her grandparents and the elders in the community. Now, I asked her, she said maybe it was because she was the girl child. Some of you would appreciate and understand the connotations of that. So being here while the boy child was outside in the yard or had gone to sea, she got to hear, and then she had a particular penchant. She listened, they shared, she asked pertinent questions. There was a respectfulness, a resourcefulness, and then as life unfolded, she came into her own. And you recognize how you learn by listening, how you learn by participating. Now, I can never ever, I don't think ever, get the great fortune of having her sit in the studio as a guest and just share her story. She says that's not who we are. And that humility is obvious and very evident in many of us. It's not a lack of confidence. It's just that, what they say, well, not all good for eat, good for talk. She's not going to do that. We have asked her, and I've done what? The 2009, 13, 17, and 21 elections. And everyone I've asked her, would you come in and sit? Would you call in? Nope. No disrespect to anybody. Just not a public person in that respect. Yet, she participates in much in the country, but not seeking award, accolade, nor even acknowledgement from family or friend or anyone. That is humility, genuineness, sincerity. And her wealth isn't, the significant financial wealth with all the money she has in the bank or the land that she has acquired or inherited. Nothing to do with that. Her wealth is that, and even a zillion times more. It's a wealth of character, honesty, integrity. And these are the people. And I'm so honored to share that. I told her I'm going to say some things, and she said, oh, you don't go embarrassing me. I promise I won't call her name. If I did, you would recognize it. And she is the kind of people who said, we've got people in this country that are bottom feeders, carpetbaggers, pawn scum. Now, she would never use those words. And goodness gracious, she probably would call and chastise me to say, wait a minute, you talking about me and you using those words. Look, boy, you want me to put you on my knee? And she can do that. She would probably have not just the authority of my parents to do so. They probably hold me, even at this age, and allow her to do so. But she won't do that because that's not who she is. Doesn't have to use a physical touch to chastise or to correct or to discipline. This video talked about, one of our favorite scriptures. By their fruits ye shall know them. And this is a lady who has borne great fruit, whose lineage and legacy will be everlasting. And those are the people that inspire us. I say that, and I invite you to call and say, listen, boy, what was in your coffee today? Did you have that good, chai masala, an amazing black tea that a friend shared? Or did I do as I often get a chance to take a little turmeric, or as a friend talks about turmeric, and some ginger, and, I don't want to put it on to boil. I bring it to a boil, right? And then let it steep for a while, and it does something. Well, it's about sharing and caring. It's about a strength of character. And it's about a time such as this. I'm going to pause and take the first break. I'm going to invite you to share your thoughts. We're going to hold our leadership from our elected parliamentarians to our appointed individuals, to those at the helm in the civil service and the private sector, the, sort of religious, educational and institutional leadership. And let's join, because we subscribe to prayer, let's make our petitions earnest. Let's do it collectively. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. You can use the floor toll-free number if that works for you. 1-800-534-8255. Let's happen to share hands and hearts, united in a way to make sure that what we do has purpose, meaning it's positive, it's productive, because it's from a prayerful place. Stay tuned. Join us right after this break.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning.
Ouch!
When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments
February 22nd to the 28th
at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email Dr. Porter Kman at gmail.com. That's drporterkman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
The Cayman Arts Festival is back this February with 2 weeks of incredible performances from international stars and local talent. On Thursday, February 13th, the spotlight shines on the youth camerata at the Hartwell Theatre with renowned violinist Irina Muresanu and Caymanian cellist Dequan Smith. Friday, February 14th, celebrate Valentine's Day with the powerful gospel sounds of the Mark DeLisa Singers and the First Baptist Choir. Wrap up the Cayman Arts Festival on Saturday, February 15th with the soulful rhythms of Benil Miller and his reggae orchestra, blending reggae and jazz. The 2025 Cayman Arts Festival, bringing music, talent and inspiration to the islands. Visit CaymanArtsFestival.com or call 922-5540 for tickets.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It is open line as we take the first call on our WhatsApp. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Good afternoon, Dwayne, and good afternoon to your listeners.
A pleasant good afternoon to you as well, my friend.
Well, yes, it's good to be back on your show. I've been listening to you last couple of days and listened to some guests as well, especially your discussions with Mr. Richter and Mr. Hurston and so on. You see, I want to talk about the immigration issue. I know it's always odd, somebody who is not Caymanian talking about immigration. But I've mentioned this to you again on your show. I was compelled to leave the portfolio of legal affairs where I was working, and the reason was because of status holders. Status holders who came to Cayman the way I came to Cayman, but because they came from a particular country or countries, they thought they had a better right to be in Cayman. So I found myself in this position where I offered to teach a Caymanian how to write legislation, for which I have an international reputation. I won't get into the details.
Okay.
But they told me, well, you see, you are not even fit to train anybody. By that time, I had like 25 years of writing legislation, and I was even teaching already online. I was teaching Canadian lawyers how to write legislation, but some person from the Eastern Caribbean told me that I was not fit to do that. So we went into through all those things that I tried to teach some courses to empower Caymanians. They told me you can't teach them in government. I tried to teach them outside. They said they couldn't give me permission, and yet they were giving each other permission. So, we'd got to a point where there was... I had to sue the Attorney General for abuse of discretion, that if you can allow other people to teach privately, especially when I was working with a Caymanian who was going to host the courses privately, why was I being treated differently? I lost a judicial review and so on. But in the end also, you see, Dwayne, I feel I was kind of duped in a sense. I'm very grateful for everything that Cayman gave me. My family has got good memories. I mean, I'm still attached to Cayman. But I feel in a sense I was duped.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I came to Cayman, I was told, well, you're going to be hosted by Caymanians. And what are you going to bring? I said, okay, what I'll bring is not just my expertise to work in the office, but I will design for you some courses and write you a couple of books, all of which I did. I've got 2 books on Cayman specifically, on legislative process and judicial review. And then designed all these courses. There are actually 9 courses. I've got PowerPoints. I've got also materials, some of which is published by me in England and in South Africa and so on. And so, having done that, having tried to contribute to Cayman more than just earning my salary, I found that there were no Caymanians in the government. A lot of Caymanian support outside I enjoyed, but nobody in government who was ready to say, well, let's give this person an opportunity to contribute more. So that one wonders when people say, well, you come to Cayman, what are you going to offer? And then when you offer that, then they tell you, well, but you can't do it. And the people who are telling you can't do it are principally people who are not Caymanians themselves. But let me come to the main part of the call, which is the immigration proposals. The immigration proposals that have been published in the white paper are nothing short of disgraceful. This is politicians thinking that people in Cayman and others who are invested in Cayman are fools. What they have done is window dressing. Let's look at what is in that proposal and what is not there. What have people been clamoring about? One of the things on the top, job preferences. There's nothing there really that will fundamentally change anything about job preferences until you amend the public service management law to say that if a Caymanian qualifies for a job, they should be given the job, even if they've got some retired person from the UK with 4 times their qualifications. The Caymanian must be given the job. Until you have that, there is no real change in that aspect. You have these kids. I listen to parents all the time. Parents coming and saying, I spent so much money, I'm a civil servant, I couldn't even get a scholarship. My son, my daughter has come back from England, from the States, but can't get a job. And the jobs are going to these other people. Okay, they haven't dealt with anything regarding that. The other thing they haven't dealt with is, unless you introduce rollover in government, you are going to achieve very little. Because remember in 2003, 2004, when they granted those mass grants, one of the ways in which they undermined even what they were trying to do in terms of rollover, having announced that they will have rollover in government, then you create an exemption to apply to the largest single employer. You have totally undermined whatever you're trying to do. So in this particular case, they haven't touched that. And Nick Joseph, who is probably the leading immigration lawyer in Cayman, has written something on CNS where he says, well, you haven't also dealt with this. So if you haven't dealt with the issue of rollover in government, you are going to achieve very little. And then the third thing, which is not the major thing, is there are no targets. I know somebody who ran in 2017 who said, guys, let us have a system where we ensure that the amount of grants that we give, the amounts that we give, do not exceed the birth rate. How to do that? There are various ways in which it can be done. Some people suggested a lottery. Some people suggested other ways of screening people so that you achieve that amount. Because what they wanted to do basically was like, if you've got about 1,000 people who are born in Cayman, then you should give maybe grants of only about 500 to ensure that you are not being exceeded, and maybe to some degree you might be reversing the trend. But all those things are not in these proposals. They have blindly put these things in there that, now you need 10 years instead of 8 years, you need 15 years instead of 20 years. I can assure you that provision which says that instead of 15 years, you need 20 years to have status, I can assure you it will have virtually no effect. because 5 years is not too much. And once people have been in Cayman for 15 years, they are invested. And if they have to stay in the same job so that they can reach 20 years so they don't have to go away for 1 year, they will do that. So all this, one other thing. There was a suggestion that only people who are Caymanian by descent should be given status. Again, that has been left out. That was going to be another significant thing. So all this, Dwayne, it is not going to change the trend that you as Caymanians in your own country, you are going to continue being a minority. Right now, I think the indigenous Caymanians are somewhere between 35 to 38%.
Is that, how do we arrive at, sorry to cut you off, don't lose your train of thought, how do we arrive at a number? I've heard lesser percentages, but do we even know the number? I understand the ESO has the data, but to your point, is it as high as that? Could it not be between 12 and 18% at some village?
Well, good question. In fact, what I'm saying is merely because the latest thing that I read from a certain source said that the figure was that. But let me go back. It's good that you asked that question. There was a young lady who just a Caymanian lady who finished her PhD maybe a year or so ago, and then she had a seminar. She had a YouTube lecture, public discussion.
Right.
She said that at least when she went to the average employer, the number of indigenous Caymanians was 28%. Now, I don't know whether that is reflected in the society and in government and elsewhere, but she said when she conducted the research, in terms of employment in the private sector, it was 28%. So, to me, do you think that these kinds of measures which they've introduced or they are going to introduce and leaving out these other things, you think that is going to have an effect? It's not going to have an effect. But the important thing that people have to understand in Cayman is that the politicians actually didn't want to do even this. Because why did they remove Steve McField from that committee? It was because he had proposals which were a little bit more, which were tighter than this. They removed him, and then the committee in the end was not meeting, and so on and so forth. And he actually said, I can repeat this, he said that there were people who tried to interfere with his job and his work on the committee. They're calling to say, can we have a meeting and this and that. I mean, he said that on OIC's show. So we know very well that there has been pushback in the private sector. I do not believe that the politicians really wanted to do even this. I think they did it because it has become such a big issue. So they have decided that let's do something which will shut people down.
Right.
And then they've said, oh, but you see, we are also, now we've put these measures in place, but we will have to look again at some other measures to see how these are going to work. 20 years after the mass grants, you still can't make up your mind whether you want Caymanians only by descent, whether you want job preferences to be given to Caymanians if you're qualified. You can't make up your mind whether you want to meet certain targets. No. And that's what people have to understand in Cayman, that the politicians are not with the people. They are not with the people. They are doing only as little as possible to shut people down. And at the end of the day, Dwayne, it is people action. People getting up there and saying, we don't care whether we elected you last year in the ABC. This is our proposal. This is what we want. Otherwise, we are going to camp at your house. Lawfully, without any violence. That's all. Because people must understand in Cayman that Cayman was bought and sold a long time ago. They have to buy it back. I think I should stop there. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you always for sharing. Have a good afternoon, all right? Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing. Yes, hello?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How are you, man? How are you?
Yeah, I've been listening to the gentleman saying what he was proposing to bring to the table to the Cayman Islands.
Right.
And I look at even some of our local politicians. They have their own stories as well. Saying, election time, you'll hear about a lot about it, what they have to offer political, etc. But there's always opposition, and that's a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? You can have the greatest ideas. I mean, even you, Mr. Sterling, you might say, all right, I want to get involved. I have great ideas, and you have something to offer to the public. But there is always opposition. That's just natural. You know, and somebody will always be there to say, well, okay, let's stop this guy from letting this happen. We don't want him to be in that position as an opposition. You know, I mean, we talk about the what's the system, the Westminster system, and etc. I don't know too much about the Westminster system, but I mean, in each and everything that you put your hands to, there is always opposition. It doesn't matter. It can be the greatest business ideas. I can say to myself as well. I mean, I tried it a couple times, different things, business ideas, and so forth. But you know, there's always someone that says, you know, negative. I don't support that. People support what they want to support, not necessarily what needs to be supported, and you'll see that in the voting process as well, because you know everybody can't be elected, and people will vote. They will support what they for reasons what they want to support, not always what needs to be supported. Am I right, Mr. Sterling?
People will support that thing that they believe gives them the best benefit, and unfortunately many times many don't, well, I was going to say because of, you know, what's expedient and convenient for them, many are unwilling to maintain the resolve. I'm told we got a couple other calls, and then we go have a break before we dismiss you. You want to say something else, or are you good for now?
Well, I'd like to say, you know, that I try to sing one of my songs that I always believe in singing. There's still hope.
Yeah.
There's still hope, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's one of my songs. But
well,
anyway,
I'll join you, and maybe in the background.
Shaka, he got what similar to that too. There's hope.
There's hope, man. Yeah, man. And was it on a hill far away? There's still the old rugged cross. Yeah. My friend, thanks for that. And to our callers in the queue, if you would be so kind, let us join you after the break.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Caymanbrack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The Cayman Islands Fire Service will be commencing comprehensive fire safety inspections across all public occupancy buildings. These inspections are in accordance with the Fire Safety Code and are critical in maintaining a safe environment. We appreciate the cooperation of all business owners, property managers, and the general public in this important initiative. Together, we can prevent fire-related incidents and enhance the overall safety of our community. For more information on the Fire Safety Code and what to expect during the inspections, please contact the Cayman Islands Fire Service Fire Prevention Unit at 949-2499 or email us at firesafetyinspections@gov.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And it's open line. We go straight to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Hello?
Hi. Hey, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I don't know if it's too late to say Happy New Year, but Happy New Year to you and to Paul.
Never too late to wish someone a happy, safe, healthy, prosperous, blessed, protected, peaceful New Year and each day. So, and to you as well. Feliz Año Nuevo.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at this time of the year, I'm always counting down my birthday.
Oh, I wonder when it is.
and then I'm saying, I'm making plans, saying, okay, I got 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I'm saying, no, I don't. My birthday's this weekend.
Yep, yep.
So I just get carried away, I guess.
Just enjoy it, man. You appreciate the
I think that
blessings.
everyone that knows me know that I am a birthday person.
Mm-hmm.
So they can miss every other occasion, but not my birthday. That one is unforgivable.
Oh, well, that's what you are, unforgettable.
I'm not talking about a party or a present, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just to acknowledge it.
No, man. Well, it's important that we celebrate and give thanks for that day. So I agree.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's like what they say about gray hair, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some people didn't live long enough to get any.
Yeah, sadly. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But anyway, since you have open mic today, I just thought that I'd take the opportunity to speak about something. I don't know if you had an opportunity to listen to it or to read it, because I know that there's a video of it and then there's an article on it. And it was from the, correct me if I'm wrong, the Royal Gazette, the Bermudan newspaper there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did watch it. It seems to have gained much circulation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I saw that. I saw their first discussion on that. And I shared it with a couple of people because, you know, I found it, to be honest, very painful when you consider the facts. And now that it's, you know, in the highlight again, I have to say it's a renewed pain. And you may wonder why, but I'll save you asking me the question because I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, thank you.
It saddens me that Cayman is being used as a prime example of a failed experiment. Not a success, but a failed experiment. And they are now warning their people, don't do it. And they're showing them what has happened here. They're asking them, is that how you want to end up? I can remember hearing about Bermuda from, I would say, maybe from high school days. I certainly can remember in my teenage years hearing about Bermuda. And it got me very interested because I love history, love geography, but especially history. So we had no computers back then. You know, the way that we got knowledge was through the encyclopedias, unless our parents knew, and then they could tell us, or if you listen to the radio. And I got very, very interested in Bermuda because of what I was hearing. And one of the things that always stood out with me was that Bermuda was overpopulated. And so, they were very strict with, work permits and so on. And then, of course, learning that as a result of their overpopulation, they had limited cars to one per family. And even if you visited Bermuda, you could not rent a car. You had to rent a moped.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that just piqued my interest a little bit more. And this is going way back in probably the late 70s, early 80s. And at that time, Bermuda recognized what was happening there. They are also British territory. And yet, with that, Cayman allowed it to happen here. With no guardrails. Absolutely no guardrails.
Mm-hmm.
We have a serious problem going on here. And then it is so unfortunate because every 4 years we elect people. We tell them what our concerns are. We tell them what we'd like you to change, to fix. And then they go and they don't remember the words. And then you are there to disturb them or to call them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't remember you again till another election's year. And then our people go right back and they vote them in again. Well, see, for me, you don't reward bad behavior, okay? That is a job. They are applying for that job. We are the employers. And therefore, we should be the ones doing the interviewing. You should be answering questions. And based on your conduct, your answers, your lack of answers, your body language, your excuses, then we can decide, okay, well, we can't hire this person. Let's move on. Let's do another interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way this needs to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And I fear that not many of our people, I say those who are able to vote, I don't think they look at it that way. Oh, she's nice and she's friendly. She says hello to me every time she sees me. That is not a requirement. That is not a qualification. I don't care if my representative likes me. I don't care if my representative even know that I exist, but shall speak to me. But as long as they're doing right by the area they represent and expand that into the country, they will always get my vote. Even if they don't know, they're getting my vote. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm also looking for communication. I know that they're not able to, come out one-on-one. But what's wrong with holding even quarterly meetings, little town hall meetings and stuff? And it also bothers me and it troubles me that every administration since the last constitution, they've refused to implement district councils. One set has criticized the other one. Then they were successful. And then they went in. And they didn't want to hear about it either. So, like they say, well, if it's not broke, well, fix it. We have too many broken systems. We have too many people, and I'm going to call it out as it is, who are deceptive. They want to get there for the wrong reasons. They get there, and then they get, I'm going to use it as it should be, they get distracted. Because then their loyalty is to someone else. Not to Cayman and not to Caymanians.
I want to ask you, if you will, and I do apologize, we do have the news break. don't want to interrupt your train of thought, but you are invited if you are able to and have the time. We do have other callers. Join us after the break, or if you need to call back later and continue. I want to hear more from you. And
let me see if I understood you correctly. Are you saying that I could hold on?
you can hold on if you choose, and we can continue after the news. We do have other callers, or if you need to sort of disconnect and every call back after, because I think what you're sharing could spark much discussion if you're amenable to that.
But I don't want to deprive the other callers. So here's what I'll do. I'll pause here.
Okay.
And once the other callers have finished, I can always call back.
Such a gracious lady. Thank you so much. All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll take the news, take the other callers, and hey, we want to hear from all of you. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Ebanks. Workforce Opportunity and Residency Cayman has introduced new official uniforms to enhance officer identification and reinforce its status as a recognized law enforcement department. Senior compliance officers, and assistant compliance officers will wear black uniforms, while managers and senior managers will wear white uniforms. Director Jeremy Scott emphasized the importance of the new uniforms in symbolizing authority, integrity, and dedication to upholding the law, as well as improving visibility and public recognition of work officers. In regional news, Trinidad Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin has written to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley regarding the importation of sniper rifles amid an ongoing misconduct investigation involving Police Commissioner Erla Herwood Christopher. Martin's letter, dated the 1st of February, requests information from the National Security Council. Prime Minister Rowley emphasized that Trinidad and Tobago operates under the rule of law and the government does not influence police investigations. Police Service Commission's deadline to rescind Herwood Christopher's suspension has passed, and Parliament will debate the nomination of Junior Benjamin as the acting commissioner. The Grenada government has expressed its appreciation for the IMF's constructive engagement and remains committed to building a resilient and inclusive economy. The IMF praised Grenada's strong economic performance in 2023 and early 2024, driven by robust tourism. Economic growth is projected at 3.9% in 2025, supported by limited hurricane damage and significant recovery spending. Grenada aims to meet a public debt target ratio of 60% of GDP by 2030. Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall highlighted the government's sound policies and future sustainable growth initiatives. That is your latest headlines. I'm Ebanks.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Reading Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Linton Nathaniel Tibbetts, 1923 to 2011. Linton Tibbetts was known throughout the Cayman Islands not only as a successful businessman, but as one who showed great interest in his homeland and invested time, money, and influence to help the welfare of his beloved sister islands. In the late 1960s, he organized the first annual Cayman Picnic, still held each July in the Tampa-St. Petersburg area, to bring together the many Caymanians living in the United States and encourage them to remember their roots. In 1972, Mr. Linton and several other successful Brackers started an air service between Florida and Cayman Brac to bolster the Sister Islands' embryonic tourism industry. The air service was later expanded to serve all 3 islands with a fleet of 7 planes. He built hotels and museums on both sister islands and was involved in establishing Cayman Brac Power and Light Company. Although his career was primarily devoted to operating his chain of building supply stores in Florida, he always visited the islands frequently and maintained close ties with his family and friends in Cayman. Mr. Linton and his wife Pauline, Miss Polly nee Ebanks, had 4 children.
Reading Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sharing with us. It is open line. We go to the WhatsApp line to take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
How you doing? Good afternoon.
And to you. Hope your day is not just only pleasant and productive, but it's one that is allowing you to find purpose. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm finding it, believe me. I wanted to make a touch on the last caller's conversation there. I agree with her, especially in today's technological age. Not only are sitting MPs, but also any candidates who are vying for seats should be able to reach out to constituents at least once a week and let everybody be updated on what's going on in their districts. And we have WhatsApp, which is a great way to communicate. We have the social media platforms. Myself, of course, I know by now after you officially put me on blast some weeks ago, you may have heard that I've now officially declared.
No, I didn't put you on blast,
I didn't know you were going to ask me that, Dave.
No, but remember you asked me the question,
Yeah, I asked you, yes.
Yeah, so ask not lest you be prepared to answer as well,
Okay, I take that.
All right, there you go. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. But so I myself have also created a WhatsApp group for constituents in the district that I am running, and that's not they have to vote for me, but it's for me to keep them updated as much as I can on anything I am doing or anything else that's going on in the community or within the islands that I feel necessary. So that caller made some very valid points. Touching on something Mr. Billy said, I am one of those. I don't know, but I was a person, a Caymanian that he reached out to work with him in order to start teaching some of the materials that he was referring to in his call. Now, I don't know Mr. Billy. He just reached out to me on Facebook. So I just wanted to say, I didn't know him that well, and it was hard to get to know him over social media. And then I became busy with my own talk show that I had. And I wasn't able to pick him up on that. So I've heard a lot of what he's done and what he's aspiring to do, and wish him all the best with all of that, based on the short information that I have on what he was trying to accomplish. Now, why I called personally, there was another one in thousands discussion across all talk show platforms and social media, but this morning again, about landlords and tenants issues, conditions of rentals, properties, the behavior of landlords and tenants and so forth and whatnot. And for me, this is one of my major passions in trying to help alleviate some of these situations in the Cayman Islands. I've advocated since 2000 about landlord and tenancy issues, and I am surprised that we don't have something going before Parliament to at least get some sort of resolution before the House closes for elections, because as far back as 2000, and actually this month, the 12th of this month, February, will be 3 years since I downloaded the 2009 Residential Tenancies Act and made some recommendations. You know, the members of the public can make recommendations to the government. Made some recommendations, and they made some amendments, and they were very good amendments, and they accepted many of my suggestions. And it's a good piece of document. And I know Mr. Panton, and I want to make this clear, first disclaimer before I go forward. I am not any member of government, the sitting government, where the opposition are sitting, in any derogatory way. I'm not casting fingers or blames or anything about anybody. I'm just saying my story, right? So I just want to make that clear. Nothing negative or positive against anyone.
Yeah.
But any of the members. But I know Mr. Panton, when he was still there as a premier, he did mention on the floor at least twice that I can remember that the government was going to resolve to bring these amendments and back before the House. I'm not sure what's been happening in caucus or Parliament or cabinet, because I've tried to get updates and none has really been forthcoming. But this amendment has been 3 years this month in the making, and we still don't see any resolutions. I know the amendments, some of the recommendations that people want to see happen has been in the amendment, has been put in the papers. And I am campaigning on social issues primarily because social issues for me is a huge umbrella, right? It encompasses a lot of different subject matters and issues that we are faced with in the country today, including immigration, landlord and tenancies, education, healthcare, cost of living and all those sorts of things. And so for me, that's what I'm campaigning on. And residential tenancies, landlord and tenant, is one of the primary issues that I want to see changed in Cayman. And for the love of me, I can't understand why we don't have it back before Parliament, or if Cabinet has done anything about it. We haven't heard about it. But I'm hoping that, with the next administration coming in, it will definitely be a priority. Right. I am hoping that I can be in that administration, whether on the sitting side of the floor or on the opposition, whatever contribution. But this is a major concern here in our islands, and it is disabling so many people in Cayman. And I just wanted everyone to know that when they are thinking about voting, they have to think, even for me, they have to think, separate personal from professional, and look at what people have tried to aspire and accomplish, what they're saying, and think with their head, not necessarily with their hearts. I would love if people voted for me just because they like me, but that not necessarily so. Think about who is there now, who is running, who will look at these issues and really make sure that these issues are going to, one person can't do it. I don't care who says what during the campaign trail, whether it's the incumbents or the aspiring. One person, the public needs to know, one individual cannot make a change within government. It has to be the majority. And we need to think about, and another thing I wanted to say quickly, I don't think it has to do with independence, and not because I'm running as independence. What I think it has to do with is characteristics and personalities to make the job work. We have a football team. You know, football is our national sport, I like to think, and we win the game of football with all of the players together. It's not just one player who may score all the goals and win the game. It's all the players on the field collectively together, passing the ball around and setting the shots up and everything, why the game is won. And that's how we have to think about our politicians. Before the one man, one vote came online, our politicians, you remember how it used to be? It used to be each district had at least 3 or 4 or 5 seats, something like that. And then how much ever ran in that district, certain amount had to win the seats. But they all, technically, in a manner of speaking, before party politics came into Cayman, they all were, in a manner of speaking, independents, and they worked great together. I mean, this isn't the first time in history that we have indifferences of personalities and so forth, but maybe because people's memories are not as long as they are in today's time, that and maybe because I don't want to really say that this has been the worst, but it's been a memorable time that people are thinking no more independence. But I don't think it's necessarily about independence. I think it's about personalities and cooperation and what's the other word I'm trying to find? Why things may or may not have worked, right?
Mhm.
So I want to say to people, think long and hard. Scrutinize words, scrutinize what's said, not necessarily because someone is out in the community that means that they're going to be the best candidate, because there's other things people does in the island that could still make them a worthy candidate. But also look and see who has worked towards. Ask your candidates, can you tell me what you have voted on in the House, why this was passed or this wasn't passed?
Mhm.
Ask your incumbents that if your heart is with the incumbents.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I wrote my little brochure, I don't know if you've seen it, but I was very careful to word it not to badmouth the incumbent, because I take the incumbent as a friend in Georgetown West, where I am running. So I was very careful. I don't intend to run any campaign on badmouthing any candidate. I don't think that is necessary. My job is to tell the people why I am going to be the best person for the job. And me being the best person for the job is looking out for social issues. Everyone else is campaigning on finance, on tourism, on the Port Pier, on the environment. I am for those things also. But for me, social issues at the core, the foundation of our country, is things like landlord and tenants, are meeting our basic human rights of making sure we have shelter, affordable housing, food, proper education, that our students can get access to education, scholarships, and all those things, for me, falls under social issues. And going back to what I initially called about with the landlord and tenants, I want this piece of legislation so bad, because we have homeless people in Cayman. If you saw that show this morning, once again, them illustrating the conditions of some properties on the islands, and if international representations were to come in here, I mean, we're not the only country like this, right? But we pride ourselves as the Cayman Islands. We pride ourselves on an international scale. That this is the type of lifestyle. This is how it is in the Cayman Islands, and we want to meet those standards. We don't want, in today's world with all the technology, we don't want to be broadcasting to the whole world that the living conditions here in the Cayman Islands is so deplorable that it's stomach turning. And these are immigrants. I don't like to use the word expats. These are immigrants that are coming to our islands, and this is how they have to live. But also, we want to protect our landlords too, that they're not being taken advantage of, in terms of their properties being destroyed and that sort of thing. But anyway, I think I've pretty much rounded up to what I wanted to say, and I just hope we can get this this legislation passed into the next administration. I had one sitting MP outside of Georgetown district said to me that oh Pat, that it doesn't make any sense that he said that is a bill, it's not a law. I said it is a law and it was passed under X, Y, and Z. And he said, well, it doesn't make any sense to worry about that anyway, because most of the landlords are Caymanians. And I said, well, that's exactly why we need this legislation to be enforced, because of our Caymanian. It's putting bread on our Caymanians' tables if they're the primary landlords in the country, in the islands. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Dwayne, you know me, I get a little long-winded when I start getting nervous, so I'll get off now and leave that with you. But thank you very much for having me on. Thanks.
You're most welcome. Let's take the other call. You're welcome. Thanks for sharing. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Patient right now. I've been online quite a while waiting on an opportunity, but anyway.
Well, thank you for being so patient, and certainly apologizing, but thank you for sharing with us.
All right. A caller about 2 or 3 a while ago, I kind of attracted my attention when he said something about with the immigration aspect of dealing with people, that we'll never be in the majority again. Now, that might be true, but I don't think that's up to any foreigner to throw it our face that we'll never have the majority of, say, the workforce in Ireland again. I resented the fact that he said that, to be honest, and I consider myself, as I told you before, an endangered species here now, and it's not a good feeling to know the position that an indigenous Caymanian has been put in, because runaway developers seem to be in control of the country nowadays, and there's many things that they want to build or import people to run them seem to be automatically accepted. And I think it ought to be some moratorium put in place. It used to be years ago. I know you can't. It's not easy to restart the economy once it gets in a recession. But you know what? We need a recession for a while now. I think it might hurt some people, but I guarantee the Caymanians have lost control in this country, and I'm concerned about that. It looks like the politicians aren't concerned about doing anything about it. I don't know if any of these new ones running for election now might have a different view, but I am very concerned about the overdevelopment that we have here. The infrastructure is maybe 25% of what it should be to cope with what's going on. That's why we're in nothing but traffic jams every minute of the day now. And I resent again the fact that we have no control seemingly over all of this, over expansion of development and everything else. I don't know what to say other than I'm very displeased with the way the country has been going in the last few years. And I can't help but acknowledge that. And then when someone tells me that you'll never likely to get the majority again, that even rubs it in a bit harder. So I don't know who else might be thinking the way I am. I'm not running for any election. I never have had, never did, never will. But I can tell you what, if we don't get some changes done in this country now, we're going to be dog eat our supper, as the saying goes. And again, even with the cruise fares, people don't realize the fact of how many people in this country depend on the cruise ships. And some are objecting still don't see the fact that we got a lot of people that need these fares for to attract the bigger ships. When they stop coming all together, then it'd be too late. Anyway, I guess I said enough now, but I want you to know how I feel about this runaway development that we have here. It's not helping the Caymanians. All that's being built now has to be for wealthy people to buy. Caymanians will never be able to buy none of them hardly. Maybe one or two, but that's about it. So I hope the politicians will take a little admonition and look into things a bit closer and actually talk to the people and we'll just wait till election time to come around looking for a vote. Thank you very much, Dwayne. Sorry for being so stern today, but I am upset at how we're going.
Well, thank you, and I'm hoping that as you have intimated that perhaps now, you'll be sufficiently motivated to, continue to not just voice publicly, but maybe, share practically what we can do to make the country, that safe, unified place. Thanks very much, Mr. Tommy.
Right. I think we should have had those committees appointed in each district as the Constitution calls for. I don't know whether the politicians don't want that because they don't consider they would be elected and can maybe control the development or whatever in the country to some extent. But it needs to be in place. One person is just trying to build their empire in each community, and it's for us. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thanks very much. And we can take another call, sir. Is that where we're going? We're back to the phones. We return. Welcome. Thank you for sharing.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hi.
See, it's a good thing that I was generous and let the others call.
You're gracious, and thank you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. I don't know if what I said sparked anything, but I'd like to kind of pick up where I left off. And just to say that as soon as I hung up, and I'm going to say it in Caymanian terms, I had someone call me to mouth me off about what I said, and then when I said, I'll call back, But anyway, in the end, they were agreeing with me, but I guess this was just their way of teasing me. And of course, they had that question again, are you running? And my answer to that is, I'm always running, okay? I'm always running. And I would encourage every Caymanian who plans to live here, stay here, to join me and run with me.
Yes. We're working together, right?
I'm not claiming to know it all. I don't claim to have all of the answers. But just like your last caller said, he's angry because of something that was said. And you know what? I take his point. Although what the caller said, it's true. But then, the previous caller that said what they said that upset this caller. But your last caller made a point, which was the point I was making, and that is, while it might be that way now, it does not have to remain that way. It's like I said to someone just yesterday, do not tell me you can't do anything about it. You can if you accept it, if you address it. It might not happen in my lifetime, but it will happen if you work towards it. And I just want to say, Dwayne, that, I'm not angry, I don't think anybody wants to see me unleashed. But anyway, but like I said, I'm very, very concerned. And, I'm old enough to have witnessed all of the changes, the transformation of our little island, all of the unfairness, to Caymanians, and also to people of the other Caribbean islands, because they get it too, okay? What I'm hoping and wishing for is that the people that we elect, that they would use the same energy and passion and conviction to just get up and address things like our education system, things like the unemployment, things like the lack of a succession plan, things like our future, meaning our children, what's happening with them. And if somebody would just, and I'm going to add housing in that, affordable housing. If somebody would just get up and address even one of those with the passion and the energy that they are addressing things that we haven't asked for, things that are not important to us, things that will not improve our lives, and our well-being, even that would make me feel that someone is paying attention. You know, I have observed in the last couple of weeks how many Caymanians that have passed away. They're Caymanians. This whole transformation that has been put upon us without any warning is what's killing most Caymanians, because you're forcing them to adjust to something they were not born into, they're not used to. And to make that kind of change in your life, that's very stressful. And we know what stress can do. We see what it's doing. I live like a prisoner in my home because of the traffic. Okay?
Wow. Yeah.
I have to leave. If I have to come into Georgetown, I have to leave home by a certain time to beat the traffic, which would be like 5 o'clock in the morning. If I didn't want to sit in the traffic for 3 hours, then I have to wait till around 10 o'clock. And then to get back home, I have to leave Georgetown like 3:30. And even at that time, there's traffic. And that's if I choose to leave home. And I can tell you the changes that has made for me. And they're not good changes.
Right,
okay?
right, yeah.
And I am also so concerned, and I've asked about this many times. You know, why is it that it has never been considered that, you know, we got a clinic up here with an ambulance, we can have a fire truck, and so on. God forbid, if where I live, if I had a stroke or a heart attack and I managed to call 911, I would die before they got to me, whether they were coming from Georgetown or Frankstown. But no one sees that as necessary because that agenda has not been handed to them. And I am saying this to all Caymanians today, regardless of who you are choosing to vote for. Just remember that what happens and what is happening is that they're being handled by their handlers. And their handlers are not those of us who have an X. We only have one X now, which makes it that much more valuable. That's a blue chip stock. Please make sure you trade it wisely.
Good point.
And I want people to remember that. Just remember that. And I'm going to speak about our children. We have our children going off to universities. A lot of them are not coming back home. Right? They can't get a job. They can't get a job. I remember when there was a system in place that if you got a government scholarship, you were bonded. So when you came back home, you had a job because you had to work at least 4 years because you were bonded. Once you were finished that, if you wanted to move out in the private sector, that was fine. I don't know what happened to that system, whether that too is being ignored or whether that went by the wayside. You also have children who get scholarships from the private sector. The same thing is happening to them. I know students who have gone to university in England and they come back, they apply for jobs, and then they're told, oh, no, you can't have this job because you're lacking this. That's part of the game. Now, some of these children are bold enough, brave enough, and committed enough to say, I'm going back to get it. And so they go back.
Right.
Now, what I'm wondering is, once they've achieved that, what are they going to tell them? But now, these are children who are determined to come back home. The others are not putting up a fight. They're just finding employment elsewhere. That is our future. Our future is now growing up in another country not knowing about their own, not able to have a say in their own country. And please do not tell me that any elected member or hopeful don't know these things.
Yeah.
And yet I'm not hearing one single soul address this. We have a curriculum in the schools that is far different than when you and I went to school. We've been asking them, please teach our children about our culture. They don't know. They haven't a clue.
Yeah. Now, I respectfully, I know we said something earlier about the callers and the break, and obviously we want to say, but could we, if you don't mind, publicly extend a personal invitation for you to come on the show if you wish and be a guest? We can engage with the callers. You can share, give us some thought, see if you would be willing to be a guest so we can hear from you. As you said, you're not going to be a political candidate, but you're always running. So,
just to clarify that, I have not thrown my hat in the arena. And for those who might be wondering, I am not throwing it in the arena. Okay, so let's clear the air with that.
Right.
But having said that, it doesn't mean that I don't love my country and I don't have the passion to see the ship captained properly.
Right. And
as far as your invitation, I thank you. You can speak to me offline about that.
Okay.
Arrange the time.
Okay. But thank you for letting us at least ask you, and thank you for at least giving it some consideration. But we would love to have you just simply from the perspective of your passionate, please, but also, your, for now anyway, hopefully for now, your public declaration that you're not doing it for now. So that gives a sense of objectivity. So we'll call you off air and we'll see what we can arrange. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you too. And with great deference to the other callers, we're going to try to give you as much as we are for the others. Please stay tuned.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Experience the soulful fusion of reggae and jazz with Benil Miller and his reggae orchestra at the 2025 Cayman Arts Festival. The multi-talented singer, songwriter and instrumentalist known for his unique blend of roots reggae, modern Caribbean and jazz. Saturday, February 15th at 7 p.m. at the Harkfield Theatre. Tickets are just $40 for adults and $15 for students. Call 922-5550 or email inquiries at CaymanArtsFestival.com for more details.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks to all. And we certainly don't want anyone to feel like they have to wait too long. We don't want in the caller to feel as if they're being dismissed, discarded, disrespected, or denied the opportunity to share their perspective. So where's that balance? Well, let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing. Hello?
Good afternoon, Sterling.
And to you, sir. How are you today?
Not too bad. How about you?
I'm thankful, man. Grateful and gracious. I am thankful.
On your comments there, just about making people feel that you don't want them on the talk show or anything like that. What I think you should do is that I mean it was fine you invite the lady to come on, and if she got a lot to discuss, I mean that's fine. But I think what you need to do really is that if you got other callers on the radio, no disrespect to anybody, okay? If you got it's only a suggestion. If you got other callers on the radio, and say for instance, like I got a topic that I want to go on and I got to take 3-4 minutes, I think what you should do is just kind of limit. Say, look, I can only allow you this amount of time. We have other callers, but you're more than free to call back.
Right.
But letting people sit, wait for quite a long time. Sometimes, you got other stuff to do, and then you're driving and you're on the radio listening to the hand-free device, and then by that time, then you already got where you're going, and then you got to hang up. And so there's maybe a couple of ways you can address that.
Yes.
To keep everybody happy. I know, you're not going to keep everybody happy because you see what it did Jesus Christ, right? Right there.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You're most welcome. The gentleman, Mr. Borden, I totally agree with everything he says because I feel in the frustration, and I'm sure a lot of Caymanians are feeling the frustration, and I just wish they would come on the talk show and express it and let everybody that is feeling it know that they're feeling it. It's not going to be in silent and keeping it inside. Let's all get together and expose what is happening in this country because numbers makes a lot of difference. So to me, Mr. Borden or somebody to get on there and just say, well, we don't like this. There's only one thing he said I didn't like, but I didn't agree with. Sorry, but that is his opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. Is the cruise berthing? I do not support that. And we're not going to fall out about that because, like I say, he's entitled to his opinion, and so am I, and you, and everybody else.
Right.
So we don't need to be disrespectful to anybody whatsoever. But another thing, what I really call you for, Dwayne, is there a right and a wrong?
Is there a right and a wrong?
Yes, sir.
I always thought so, but I mean, yep. In my mind, unfortunately, sometimes I see right and I see wrong, but people say there's a gray area. I'm not quite sure I subscribe to that always, but there's right and there's wrong.
There's no such thing because, like Mr. Trump said, there's only two genders, whether you want to accept the fact or not, a man and a woman. And right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't care how you twist it or turn it. That is how it is.
But I agree with you. Right is right, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
My point is, quite a few times this has happened to me, and I don't really like it, and I think it's wrong. I'm going through the harbor, and I come up to where the cruise ship passengers get off in that area, and I come up to the right, and I mean it's no tourists are crossing the road. There's no emergencies, no pile of traffic or nothing, right? The police officer's there, right? And he's telling you to come through the red light. Now, I'm totally against that because I do not want to go through the red light, okay? So I don't know why he is making the traffic go through. I can understand emergencies and everything else, but I don't understand for the love of money why he's making people go through the red light, because this is a bad signal, because then people can get the impression that they can go through the red light, which is what they're doing over and over and often. So I don't know if you think that is wrong or that's right. My opinion, it is wrong, and it should not be a practice of our law enforcement in this country telling you to come through the red light when there's no kind of emergency or nothing.
Right. Now, I'm not going to sort of disagree with you with intent to be disrespectful nor to deny your perspective, but my understanding from police and sort of legal minds is that a uniform police officer specifically, so one that is identifiable and is giving you instructions, those instructions, like in that instance, the light is red, officers in an intersection and is telling you to come or to stop, those instructions are lawful, and if you don't obey them, then you're doing an unlawful act. So it would be right to follow that officer's instructions. Hey, light is red, but you come on through. I'm telling you to come through. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
If there is some kind of emergency or some handicapped person that's going through the road or has passed, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But to me, it has to be some kind of emergency, because if that police officer tell me to jump off that one of them tall buildings in town, even though he has the authority, you think I'm student?
No. No.
Absolutely not.
Well, let me actually maybe even help your confusion somewhat, right? When I say you, not just yours. So let's take West Bay Road and the construction that is taking place. We got a fellow jumping out. I use the language that was used to me. There's a condo development or something on the beach. Some vehicle is either pulling out of the construction site or pulling in. And this fella jumps out in the road with a hands in the air or a stop sign in hand, telling you to stop to allow this vehicle to enter or exit the site. What do you think about that?
Well, that's a little bit different. It's a construction site, and it's right on the side of the road. So you've got to enter there with caution and respect people coming in and out because of the amount of condos.
I agree.
You have to respect that. But there is no reason, if a light was there, that you shouldn't be. I mean, you shouldn't. The laws are the law. We don't make the law. We are told to abide by the laws. We are not told to abide by police. Under some circumstances, yes, but not to where he can tell me jump off a building, I can do it.
No.
If it's wrong, then it's wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that last part there, I would say. I mean, mom would tell you, follow fashion, bring broke neck, right? So, but yeah, I hear you. Perhaps we have a different perspective on that. But before we take the other caller, is there something else that you would want to share?
No, sir. You have a wonderful afternoon. And tell my darling there, Susan, hi and good afternoon to her.
All right. Well, we can hear it that you've done so with love and a smile, so we'll pass it along. All right. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Good afternoon, Dwayne, and to all of you there and to all of our listeners.
And to you, sir. How are things on the BRAC?
Yes, sir. Things are okay. It's not that busy in the construction field. It's only about probably 6 buildings going on. The big building, it will be for the affordable, not the affordable homes, but for the accommodations for the new high school.
How is that coming along? That construction for the accommodations, how is that going on?
That's progressing very fast. They got the roof on all 2 buildings.
Okay.
I think 20 units each, and the roofs are on, and they're going along very good with that. And for the first time in my lifetime, or maybe the first time in history, we see a large tower crane erected up on the bluff. That's a strange sight for him, right? I think that's Mike Alpine's or at least from someone else that's erected up on the bluff. So
now only because only because you have eyes on the ground, right? So irrespective of whatever others would say or media reports, in relation to the construction of the new high school, are you seeing anything physically happening in the clearing of land, and the footings being poured, and the structures being erected, anything at all for the high school itself?
Yes, the foundation, bedding for the foundation Most of that has been completed. Spreading of the crushed rock and compacting of it, and the site's been cleared and prepared probably from about 2 months ago. Very large site.
Okay. Fair enough. We won't ask any else, but you were speaking. We were listening.
Yes, so are you hearing me clearly? I am in the midst of the creek bluff, about, not in the middle, but I'm about 1,000 feet from the edge.
Okay.
Hidden by a large, we call it cordo plant, the agave cactus. They're around me here by the dozens, and they're quite impressive trees. I got one, I'm sitting by one here now. It's about 12 feet high, and something like that takes about probably 40 years to grow that high, because from a tiny one up to about 10 feet, some of them takes 25 years to put out. The maple that people cut them and used them for Christmas trees. So this bluff got such impressive forestry, so many rare trees and orchids and vined orchids, and I am the one that whenever I am clearing property, I always look out and protect the forest. I leave the nice indigenous trees like ironwood, sapodilla, pampero, and I'm the man that knows the name of just about every tree in the forest. And I had the National Trust guy carried me into the Parrot Reserve one time to show him the trees and give him the names of the trees. So I know my island and I know what it got on it. I'm very active throughout the island, and I respect the forestry, and whenever clearing property, that all the trees need to be left on the perimeter wherever possible to provide shade for the construction work to go on and protect the forest. So I'm in the heavy equipment business, but I have been given an award for fauna and flora in Cayman Brac for saving trees on Cayman Brac. That happened about 20 years ago. So heavy equipment is my line of business. I'm the man to protect the forest. When I clear land, I leave the nice trees for shade for the owners when they go to build, and that's how it needs to be done. So I protect the forest. Anyway, changing subjects, we have a cruise ship expected to arrive here on Friday morning, which will be the biggest one ever. It's coming from Miami and planning to spend a few hours here, and then it will go back to Cozumel, Mexico. It's the Explorer 2. It's 816 feet long, capacity of around 1,500 passengers, but I think it's bringing around 500. I think somewhere around that is listed to come ashore, so all the taxis will be reserved to take them around on an island tour and visit some of the shops and restaurants, and that would bring some money into the island as well. So everyone is looking forward for that. I hope the weather is good enough now on Friday so that it can keep up off of Scott's dock. That's where it will be arriving, and the taxis will be out there to facilitate that arrival. Also, we have the Rubis tanker here, actually lost more than 2 days now because the weather is rough at the creek where the tanker has to come in. And they're not coming in till around Friday morning, so it looks like going to be 3 or 4 days lost on that arrival. And also the gasoline and diesel that this tanker has on board, and the one previous to this that came to Grand Cayman was loaded in St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Nothing came from Houston, from Texas, Louisiana, or Alabama. This is St. Croix products that are stored there in the large storage facility tanks and then purchased by Rubis or whatever and then shipped to the Cayman Islands.
See, that's where you keep us informed, and even though we may know of these things after or even sometimes before, you keep us current. Before we take the quick schedule break, anything more, Mr. Raymond?
Yes, I want to talk about the oil industry in the United States. Trump going to continue with pushing to get more oil wells drilling and all of that. So yesterday morning, I knew that the China's biggest ship, the second biggest in the world, transporting a $578 million oil rig was passing south of Cayman Brack. So I got up early yesterday morning, went down by the Brack Reef around 4:30 in the morning, and there it was right abreast Brack Reef, 12 miles off, all lit up, going to the Gulf of Mexico. And that oil rig is brand new from the shipyard in South Korea.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Raymond, I have to respectfully ask. Got to fill those breaks before the news. Catch you if you can after. To our listeners, great deference. Join us after.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
The Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport and Development is pleased to provide the APATH Grant Program to help you thrive. Whether you're interested in pursuing higher education or a career in planning, infrastructure, agriculture, housing, or transport, APATH is designed just for you. Ready to take the leap? Apply today. For more information, please contact APATH Secretariat at 936-6231 or mpahi@gov.ky. APATH, your path to success in the Cayman Islands.
Radio station.
Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevy Ebanks. Travis Dilbert and Ronnie Ray Canales, accused of grievous bodily harm during a July 2024 altercation in Bodentown, pleaded not guilty in summary court on Tuesday. Represented by Clayton Furon, both men also face charges of causing fear and provocation of violence and assault resulting in actual bodily harm. Their trial is set for the 10th of April. In regional news, in Jamaica, 33-year-old reputed gang leader Rasheem Brown has been charged with murder dating back to 2023. Deported from the U.S. last week, Brown, also known as Shem, was wanted since 2024. He faces charges of murder, wounding with intent, and firearm offenses. Brown, the leader of the Golden Heights gang, is linked to a deadly attack in the Upper West Streets where a man was killed in front of his children. He is also under investigation for other serious crimes. In other regional news, U.S. President Donald Trump has commended Black Americans for their role in the socio-economic and cultural development of the U.S. In a message for National Black History Month, Trump highlighted the significant contributions of Black American leaders throughout history. He recognized American heroes such as Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Sowell, and Justice Clarence Thomas. Trump expressed gratitude for the ongoing contribution of Black Americans and urged public officials to observe the month with appropriate program and activities. That is your latest headlines. I'm Jevy Ebanks.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
I'm back. Thank you for joining us. Got a couple of callers on the phones. Let's go to the lines. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello? 1-800. Hello?
Hi, Mr. Dwayne. Raymond again. You got other callers before me. Give them a chance, okay?
Okay, you go ahead. And again, thank you for being so kind for letting us take the news. I'm told till there are other callers, but let you have your continued share with us. Thanks, sir.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the medical field now, the medical requirements in Cayman Brac. It's time for us to get a advanced MRI machine for the Faith Hospital.
Uh-huh.
I know an instance where a youngster got hit with a ball up on the football field, and we didn't have the facilities here to do an assessment, and he had to be medevaced out by the helicopter. So in cases like that, helicopter costs about $1,000 an hour to operate. So we need to think about the most important thing in life is medical facilities.
Right, and we know that Mr. Dan Scott, his launch the other day, talked about that as well. So I think that's something that we recognize and I appreciate you highlighting as well,
Yes, I've been talking about that from a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We need upgraded equipment in Cayman Brac at the Faith Hospital so that the patients do not have to be sent over to Grand Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you get a bad broken ankle or a bad sprained ankle, in cases like that, they have to be flown over to Grand Cayman. So we need to have facilities and equipment and the doctors here to deal with our issues here rather than having the stress of mobilization over to Grand Cayman. And we have almost every week we have a medevac out of Cayman Brac to Grand Cayman. It has been very much increasing in recent times. I mean, years ago it was very unusual, and thanks for that helicopter. I mean, they come all hours the night. They leave and come over to the Brac. That's a blessing that we got that helicopter. How many people lives may not have been saved if it wasn't for that helicopter to come to the Brac and quickly get them out to Grand Cayman. And many thanks to the pilots. I have communicated with them on my radio, leading them to search and rescue operations where I'm involved in saving lives at sea, etc. So I know the guys, and I actually been inside the helicopter when it was up here. during the visit for the agricultural day. That's an impressive helicopter. Anyway, that's what I want to see to happen here. Upgrade in the medical facilities in Cayman Brac so we can cope with things so our people doesn't have to be sent over to Grand Cayman. Another thing, we are educating our children here, and we are shipping away our intelligence. The jobs are not available here for them, and they have to go to Grand Cayman to get employment. And thanks to all of you Grand Caymanians for providing work for our Cayman Brac students. But it would be great if jobs are created here with offices and other things. But, you know, being a small, not because of the size, because of the population, such a quiet, peaceful island, we don't have the activity to actually bring about these kind of jobs. But that's what's happening here. We're educating our children, shipping them off to Grand Cayman, then they marry down there or stay down there, and we lose them there. We have a very serious problem in our society in Cayman Brac. Our elderly is dying out, and our youngsters is being vacated to Grand Cayman. So that is one of the priorities. Something needs to be surely done about helping alleviate that kind of problem.
Right.
And otherwise, jobs that are available where Cayman Brackers can withhold, and also making that available for Cayman Brackers to hold those jobs here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've always been highlighting and have been consistent. So we're going to take the next caller, but what final thoughts you want to share?
I got lots of other things, but
Always.
I don't want to keep the other caller waiting so long, so I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll get back with you another time. And best of all to everyone, and happy times. Good day.
And to you, Ms. Weirman. Thanks very much.
Sure. Okay.
Gentlemen always, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take this other caller. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hi.
Hi. I'm sorry that I've called again, but I must tell you that I felt compelled
Mm-hmm.
to call because the caller that came in after me, let me just say that we all call the talk shows if we please, so we have to wait. Sometimes we're lucky we're the first caller.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I would never do is to try to lecture you or any talk show host for that matter how you should manage your talk show. Okay?
Okay.
If you don't have the time to wait, then hang up or call back. And if you certainly want to voice whatever you've called about, then you wait. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm not saying that anybody's grievances are more important than the other person, but I would not have voiced that. Sometimes we don't have to always say what we're thinking because you didn't react to it, but I have reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say it in very straight layman terms. It was rude and out of order. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't talking about running a red light. I'm talking about things that affect every one of us. And if they could be addressed and perhaps acted on, it could remedy even running a red light.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt that I needed to respond to that. I'm not trying to engage with anyone based on their opinion or their lack of understanding of what I'm speaking about or your desire to engage with me. But just be careful and mindful of what you're saying because you could offend many people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tell me if it offended you. That's your thought.
Yeah, but just so you listen in case somebody is joining, you're not referring to me. So when you said you, because then I just want...
I'm sorry, so I missed that.
No, I'm saying just so in case somebody was just joining the conversation then. When you were saying you, I wanted to know that you're not referring to me.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I thought I had differentiated.
No, you have. I'm just...
because you're the host.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're not... But just in case someone was joining in. Just then. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you too. And to all our callers, I want you to feel welcome and invited to share. And we're going to try to accommodate as much as possible. But as the caller says, difficult to please. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't. I'm sorry that woman took that a bit personal.
Mm.
I am not trying to tell you or anybody else how to run your life or run the talk show.
Mm-hmm.
The talk show is not yours to start. No disrespect. The talk show is to the people of this country. You are the host, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was not trying to tell you in any way, shape, nor form how to run your talk show.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly all I was saying to you was a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry that she don't understand that. If she don't understand simple things like that, then
Right.
she need, I don't know. I mean,
So let me, as you continue, I think you would agree, and as would almost every single one. In the time I've been hosting this is me personally. I've always tried to facilitate all discussions. I've been objective and impartial, never voiced my opinions, never got in the soapbox, right? Always try to accommodate and encourage where possible, challenge where I thought was necessary, take correction always. Would we agree?
absolutely, Dwayne, 100%.
Right, thank you.
And the day me personally have any issues with you,
Mhm.
I will be the first one to address it, Dwayne.
Thank you.
But this is not getting us as Caymanians no way. All I was barely doing, I don't even know the lady, or maybe I do know her, but I didn't say anything to offend her or anything like that. And if I did, I am sorry, but it was not meant in any way, shape, nor form to insult her or offend her in any way. And this is our problem as Caymanians.
Right.
Right? We need to stop this.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
And,
Agree.
And all it was about, you know, the time, and like the guy there from Cayman Brack, what's his name again? He called back, and he was prepared to give somebody else a break because he knew that he kind of went over his time, Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that is what it's all about. It's being respectful to you and respectful to the people that called in. So I'm sorry that she took that the wrong way, but it was not meant in any way, you know, to be offensive or, you know, in anything whatsoever. So
Well,
if she got, I'm sorry she did, but
It is, as you shared, you know, a few things that immediately come to mind. I like the fact, and it's kind of why the last few years it's been in my heart, and I felt late to share it publicly, and why I did. We need to come together. We need to find unity. Mr. Ami talked about unity in our diversity. We need to come together. Stop fighting and backbiting.
Exactly.
But that is.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And you know, you just keep on doing the job, and don't ever think that, you know, when people are trying to give you a little bit of advice or a little different directions how you deal with things. I mean, you as a host, you cannot take that personal.
I don't.
You see, and I know you don't.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? On a personal level, I pray both for the wisdom and the knowledge to ask for advice and the good sense to accept good advice, right?
Yeah.
Here is something that I am struggling with. I'm trying hard to do. Not only ask for help, you know, but to accept help that is offered. I've had this view that, you know, I can do it myself. If I can't pay for it, you're not willing to help me genuinely, honestly, you know, lovingly do the thing that I need help with.
Yep.
I'm prepared to do without it, right? Because
Absolutely.
Mama say you don't beg, borrow, and behold, right?
That's right. And I guess also what I said also about the light, that was offensive to her too. For what reason, I don't know.
Right.
I am only speaking from my experience and my beliefs because I personally don't think, if I don't think something is right, I mean, nobody is supposed to hold that against me.
Right. I think what's happening is that globally, right? But let's look at it from the Cayman perspective. We're experiencing a lot. There's a lot of stress on our lives.
You're right.
There's a lot of discord, a lot of division, and leadership, right? I use that loosely, is sorely lacking, and too many people are looking for what I say, you know, pay, position, power, and prestige, right?
Yeah.
There's no humility. If that offends people because they're a pastor or a politician, or to use your example, a police officer, that's on us. And for me, on a personal level, it's becoming increasingly challenging to watch injustices unfold, to watch people be marginalized and divided. We've heard comments from many that are polarizing, right?
Yeah.
And the easiest thing to do is to cuss, fuss, and fight, right?
We don't need that.
We don't need that. What we need is strength of character. Something that I think my father may have said. Not quite sure he worded this way, and I'm hopefully and prayerfully have not misinterpreted. But we need to be, as men, we need to be strong but not macho, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
We need to be in a way that, we are gentle but not wimpy. We need to have that strength of character, and that is sorely lacking. You got people that will blow with the wind. Man, anyway, you called to say something else. Let me not get so impassioned.
I appreciate the conversation. I really do, and I appreciate when you get involved in it and give your opinion, which is very respected, and that's the way it should be.
Yes.
So anyway, Dwayne, you have a good afternoon.
You too, sir.
I didn't mean to offend that lady in any way.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing to do with her whatsoever. So if she took it personal, I'm really sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Do we take the next call, sir? Or take the break and then the caller? All right. Join us after.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Triple C School is celebrating 83 years strong. Join us for a night of food, culture, and community at our celebration gala on February 8th, 6:30 p.m. at the Family Life Center. Enjoy delicious traditional Cayman cuisine, fish, turtle, conch, chicken, Cayman spicy beef, and all the trimmings. Also, spot prices and live performances by Swanky Kitchen Band and Triple C Band and Choir. Tickets are only $100 and proceeds go towards ongoing school projects. So dress smart casual and come be a part of this incredible 83rd celebration. Get your tickets now at the school office. Triple C, building on our legacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And I just, appreciate the last caller. And as he reminded us, Mr. Raymond did yield his time, but so did the lady who called prior as well. She said, "Hey, let me give up some time." So we're getting there. We understand the accommodation. Any callers on, sir? All right, let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Yeah.
I lost my contract with you guys, or what?
You know what? I gotta leave that one alone for just to know. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. What a mess. What a mess being Sterling.
Nah.
Sterling?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Mr. Tom, I've been trying to get on forever. Mr. Tom, I was on it earlier and we're talking about construction and so forth, right? And the growth. Sterling, our old past construction people, as far as I'm concerned, they never left nothing behind for their children to continue the construction business to this island. I am not happy how the island is going, but we do not sit down for 5 seconds and realize that we did this ourselves. Us. We brought everything that's happening to Cayman upon ourselves, and we refuse to accept it. We want to blame it on somebody else. When are the Caymanians going to wake up and realize we did it all wrong? We were too kind. We were too comfortable in our little comfort zone. We were going to always have the little lamp on the side when electricity go out. We were going to always have a little flower on the side with a little oil to make a bread or a Johnny cake, whatever the case may be. Our own Caymanians saw this island growing rapidly, and nobody did anything about it. We vote in Tom, Dick, and Harry. They never did anything, and they still ain't doing anything. And I was listening to this Brenda at one point in time, partially for a conversation. I did say from some time going by that Borden Town needs a hospital, an ambulance, a fire truck, and much more in that area. They keep saying that Borden Town is growing rapidly. How are we going to save the people in Borden Town? We got to come from North Side and Georgetown. We have no fire truck lanes. We have no ambulance lanes. We have no police lanes. And talk about police lanes, it doesn't make sense to have them, because in the way that they are still driving up there on that straight, at Sport Straight, man, Sterling, when you see them coming down, the only thing left for now is for the wings to come out, to go up into the air. They're just up and down on the road, up and down, and waiting for the wings to come out.
Wow.
Fly out like Cayman Airways.
Wow.
Hey, let me tell you something. We not seen nothing yet. We the people sit down and make what happened to us. I heard my brother on earlier. I didn't hear all this conversation. I just got to tail end of him again just now. I don't know what took place while he was on there. But I just want to say that the radio stations are just like the politicians. You can't say anything to express yourself in this island. Everybody wants to get offended. Everybody wants to jump off on a negative. Nobody wants to support nobody. And even if someone gave an opinion and I call in and don't like their opinion, I have no right to stress that, to embarrass that individual who called that station. You understand?
Right.
So we the people, we are so ignorant that we even forget that we got 5 senses and we got our common sense and refuse to use our common sense, because then we think that we sound big and bold and everything when they can come back on the air and bash this one and bash that one. We will never come together if we continue living and acting the way we do. Sterling, we got the churches on this island are the galores. And when you look on Saturday and Sunday, the churches are packed. And Sterling, when you go to the grocery store, to the doctor's office, the dentist appointment, I know it has to be them seeing people going to these churches on a weekly, daily basis and come out there and disrespecting you, slamming doors in your face, overriding your shoulder to get their items checked out, and they just came to the church. That's their Sunday. Monday in the out there shopping and carrying on. We have no togetherness. Our culture is so mixed that it is a bitter taste in a lot of our mouths on this island, but there's nothing we can do until we put Christ in the middle and say, you know what? We got to pray about this because our politicians can't fix it, and our neighbors can't fix it, and our few Caymanian left can't fix it because we are envious, jealous, and vexed. We vex to the whole world, and the world never did about nothing. The world is beautiful. The world ain't doing no more than nothing. God gave us this beautiful world. It's the people. And before I go, I've been wanting to call you in regards to all of this deportation that Trump is doing from the U.S. I want to know if our immigration is sitting around the round table discussing how they're going to handle who is coming in here, and as well as that fingerprint machine going to go in action to see who we are bringing in. Because Sterling, let me tell you something, they're coming.
Yeah.
And they got to wait until it explore to do something. It's too late. A lot of dead bodies all over the place and all that kind of stuff. A lot of homes burned down because then you want to send them back. They need to be scanned properly. We need to close that immigration down and reboot that, rewrap that, whatever it takes to get this island partial back. It's not coming back 100%. Only God can bring this island back 100%. If the people believe in Almighty Jesus Christ to help bring the island back.
Well,
I'll leave you with that.
Thank you. And I believe we'll try to take the 2 final calls. First to the WhatsApp. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, good afternoon, Sterling. Can you hear me, man?
Quite well. Are you able to hear us?
Yes,
Okay.
very well.
Thank you for listening.
WhatsApp, so I know how that. Thank you also. I won't make it long because I know you're time sensitive, and I'll try to be as calm as I can. I'm not sure if anybody called today to talk about any of the contributions that the members were making in the House from last night, for example, in terms of the debate on the referendum motions. Did anybody call to talk about that?
No. Conversations on talk today in passing, but nothing exhaustive.
No. So, okay, great. So I, of course, acutely aware and honing in on our referendum law because I'm very passionate about that crucial pair. I was so surprised to hear, I heard just some of the debate last night, and one of them was one of our current sitting ministers, less about the name and more about the substance that was shared with the general public. I thought was intellectually dishonest, and I thought certainly stretch and a lot of spin. So the minister, and I'm not going to quote the numbers because I think they're distorted and I don't think they were honest in my view or accurate. I mean, rephrase, I don't think they were accurate. So the minister spent a tremendous amount of time in his debate in regards to the peers talking about the pandemic year, where the government of the day of that time chose to pay all tourism sector workers. And the minister took the entire figure of those payments to say that that is what would materialize, scaremongering again, if we didn't build a pair. Basically saying that we will have 0 ships coming to Cayman and there would be no tourism industry, which I think is, again, just dishonest because it is not true. As I recall, the payments, he took the entire figure, as I recall correctly, for all the payments, which was like 3,000 something, and I stand to be corrected. But my understanding is that 3,000 something was the entire tourism industry, people who worked in hotels, people who drove taxi cabs, people who did all these things. It wasn't just people who were related to the cruise tourism sector. And he took that entire figure, as I recall, and shared that as being what we would face if we didn't build a tourism pair. I just thought it was completely such a distortion of the truth, you know. And as I recall too, Dwayne, you know, we even at one point in time, and I stand to be corrected again, certainly in the beginning weeks, if not the beginning months of the pandemic, the government even allowed expatriate workers within the tourism sector to have clean benefits, even through NAU. I'm not sure if any of them got any of those checks, but certainly even through NAU, for example. So I just want people to be aware that, in case they may have heard it or whatever, it was, I think, a total distortion of the truth in terms of, and you can't pull away. I mean, he even used the lady, if you remember, I called yesterday to clarify, the lady who had called in the morning to talk about businesses that had closed down. He called a completely different number. It was one different, and it was up. It was 37 yesterday, and he said he heard 38. So it's no surprise to me that he would change that number as well, since that changed within a few hours, given that he was just sharing for hours to the public in his debate distortion of the numbers. I was really bothered by that as a minister. We need to keep the conversations truthful and honest, and allow people to make informed decisions with the real truth, not with some distortion and scaremongering. Just my thoughts. Just hope all of our leaders did. I was listening, and I want to listen again tonight to hear how the debate's going. Thanks, Sterling, for allowing me to share, man.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing, and hopefully we chat with you soon. All right. Final call. Very welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Captain.
Hey, General. How are you?
I'm doing okay, and I know my time is limited because I guess you're on probably overtime now. But we'll make a couple of points.
Yes, sir.
The first thing I want to say is looking at what the minister from Bermuda has said about the Cayman Islands. Making a long story short, we are now becoming the laughing stock of the world. It's not a beautiful situation. What Cayman Islands should really think about to lift our image in the face of the world, go back starting with what we had before. That is, Sunday is a day of rest or recreation, not into construction and lawnmowers and all that. We need to do something again to bring this island back in some sort of way, because as it is now, Caymanians are probably the most disrespected people on this island. We need somebody that lift the image and say, this is the Cayman Islands, this is what we will do. If you want to be Adventist or Jehovah, we're not bringing religion into this. We're talking about a day of rest and recycling maybe our thoughts or something like that, getting together, sitting down and having, conversations about 24/7 with this sort of go on. It is so disheartening to see the little Cayman Island, what's happening here.
Yes, sir.
It's more than a tourist resort. They need to bear that in mind. And it's more to life than the almighty dollar. Okay? I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for listening to me, and we'll catch up later. Okay?
Thank you for sharing, and certainly appreciate when you do listen. So thanks very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. As we close out, here's one comment from a listener in relation to the caller who talked about medical facilities in Ebanks. The caller writes, says, improving medical facilities should have been done before the overpriced school. And other comments came from that, caller that hopefully we can share tomorrow. But, it talks about the need to look at things, and when asking where are all the candidates, when will we the people be able to interview them for the job? We are looking at character, history of effective leadership, integrity, transparency, accountability, fiscal responsibility, just to begin. And we need safe, sanitary, and affordable housing is a right. We need the enforcement for the current legislation, as well as to explore new legislation to protect both landlords and tenants, in relation to that caller who talked about that. Why are housing quality standards done for tourist accommodations and residents, but not done for the properties for those living here? Major decisions are being made without a human impact study. How will this impact Caymanians when we look at the things, right? In relation to the caller who answered the question, what is happening in the back relative to the construction for that temporary housing? Caller says, incredible, why does it take so long for affordable housing for Caymanians to be constructed, but accommodations for imported workers can come overnight? Just incredible, unbelievable. When we talk about social development, really, for whom? So our callers are listening, and they increasingly are sharing their perspective. The question is, are we, the general populace, engaged, involved, informed, and sufficiently courageous to share and to do so with a sense of love, respect, responsibility, and a willingness to unify our hands and hearts? Increasingly, I think we're finding ourselves being displaced and marginalized only because we're willing to be. We're not standing together. It is, as Mr. Hamid has shared, that I've consistently and very consciously reconciled within my own mind. We can have unity in our diversity. We who live, working here, whether we go back generations, whether we only been here decades, or for some, the ink hasn't dried on that paper that says we can stay illegally and lawfully. We need to be united as one. There are 3 islands, but one country. And what happens in one part affects all. For those who are elected, whether in one of the 19 constituencies, their decisions, indecision, their actions or inaction, what they say and do will be interpreted and will be impacting all of us. Let's find a way to come together. We're going to an election. There's some of us who will be on the cards. All of us who are eligible and have become registered to vote should participate, and do so from an informed perspective. As much as personalities are going to come into play, maybe we can look at principles and policies over the individuals and their personalities. But that always weighs in at some point. Recognizing that whether government's budget is $1 billion, or whether we have an increase in expanded population, whether we talk because it's now politically expedient and convenient to speak to immigration, development, population, or other issues, have to be a will, a societal will, driven by political leadership, undermined by a sense of credibility and a willingness for us in a democracy to participate. Much to be said, more to be done. Let's do it in love and in unison. Right, tomorrow, join us. We're hoping to invite others to share, but as we invite you to be a part of it, we won't listen, we won't hear, we will feel. Until tomorrow, have a safe, wonderful, blessed, and productive afternoon.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important.